Daniel, you just did Fetch, and it's a pretty funny action film.
Well, I didn't just do it. I shot it actually about 2.5 years ago, but
so
you just saw it tonight. So
time,
what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I liked the whole story.
Okay.
First off, it's not a good story, I'm going to hate it right off the bat.
Right.
The action sequences obviously were amazing, and it was funny. And
right.
when you can add in comedy with action,
right.
it always makes it better.
And actually, the funny thing was when I decided to direct, I've been acting for about 15 years, and I've always had the urge to direct because I wanted to create something on my own. I wanted to write something, so I started to write Fetch. And in the beginning, Fetch was really kind of more tough, no sense of humor. And then once I started to write and the character came alive, I was like, oh my God, there's actually a lot of opportunities to make it fun. And I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan. I'm very inspired by like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, by Snatch, those kind of films. And then the script kind of took that direction, and it really, really worked well. And I think a lot of people respond to that. I always tell people, I hope you're not offended, it's really violent, but it's funny. The guy, the poor guy gets beat up all the time. He is sick as a dog. He sneezes all the time.
His ex-wife
keeps calling him, and wherever he goes, he gets beat up. I mean, you just feel for the guy.
It's a pretty hard life, for sure.
I know.
So how did you kind of come up with this whole concept to start off with? I mean, this is 2 years ago, so you're going to have to go way back in the memory banks. But
you know what? What I kind of remember, it's been a while, and I don't really remember, but I kind of remember one of my good friends at the time was getting divorced, and his wife just kept bitching at him the whole time. And I started to go, this could be really, really interesting. So it was just like, art is life.
Sure.
And I just took parts from a lot of different parts of life. From friends, from myself, from family, just kind of pulled it all together.
Well, I guess you're getting the butt-kicking part for yourself because you would go to work, and that's pretty much what you were doing, was getting your butt kicked all the time.
Right.
Or kicking someone else's butt.
Exactly.
So so there was quite a bit of action. There's a lot of things that you did in this film.
Right.
You wrote it.
I wrote it.
You directed it.
I directed it.
You were even in it a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? In the very beginning, people told me that I should be in it, and that was probably the smartest decision I made, not being in it, because the 5 days I shot, I didn't sleep like 1 hour. You just can't. It was so overwhelming, and you're on such a high, and everybody comes to you about every little problem. So you're responsible for like 50 people who work with you. I mean, it wasn't 50, it was a small movie, maybe 20 people. Sure. And you want this dress, how do you want the hair, what kind of film do you want, what location? I mean, you're just non-stop working. So best decision, I didn't want to act in it. I just wanted to direct it so I could really focus on my actors. And that's something I've actually enjoyed really much, like talking to the actors. So the character really came alive once I wrote it, and then I did rehearsals with the actors, and I had a certain idea what I was looking for, and then the actors brought stuff, so it was a great give and take.
Yeah, absolutely. And it turned out really well. I mean, it was a very well made short film. And now what's the goal? It's already done the film circuit.
Right.
And so what's the future of Fetch?
What I would like to do with Fetch is, I think there's a great opportunity or possibility maybe to do a TV show.
Oh, I can definitely see that.
Which I think would be really funny. Fetch every week he has another adventure, and another idea would be to do a feature film and possibly use the feature as a pilot. I also had an idea of doing a trilogy. So there are a lot of ideas. I wrote a script, and I think the one mistake I made when I had Fetch made, the response was really, really strong, and I sent it around. I did like 20 festivals, won like 3, but I didn't have a feature script. So a lot of people said, oh, show us the script, and I didn't have it because I'm not really a writer.
Sure.
I just wrote Fetch, it was a short, it was easy. And then finally I sat down with a friend of mine who is a very, very good writer, and he told me, Daniel, I'm not going to write the script for you, but I'm going to advise you how to do it. So I got a writing crash course, and in about a month I wrote the script. So now the goal would be to raise money and make the feature film.
When you actually go into production, say that you got funded right away, where would you like to film this?
My idea for Fetch was always kind of gritty. I was looking for something like, like New York, Detroit, but it could be possibly here in Salt Lake City. It could possibly be in Los Angeles. It's really depending where the money comes from. Danny Thompson is a huge fan of Fetch, and he actually invited me to come here tonight to screen Fetch for you guys and for a couple of people to possibly bring it to Salt Lake and maybe, make it here. So we'll see what happens with that.
It'd be great if that could be made to, like, as you said earlier, a TV series.
That'd be it's going to be really hard to get picked up for a TV show right away. So I think the best thing would be is to shoot an hour and a half movie, which actually could be a backdoor pilot, because that's basically 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
That could be your pilot to start a TV show.
I agree. I think that would be a great way to go, and I'd love to see more Fetch. I think it's a great idea, and I'd like to see more of it.
Right, and also the whole story in the short about the dog.
Sure.
It's really funny. People really enjoy. Most people don't get it. It's only very few, and it's usually only ladies who figure it out.
Oh yeah, my wife figured it out real quick.
It's funny. Guys never figure it out. Ladies do. So in the feature-length script, that concept I don't think would work to make it like for 90 minutes that you don't know it's a dog. So in the feature-length script, we know right away it's a dog. But this time, Boo Boo, the dog, is actually a superstar dog out of Germany who is like a hero in the country. You see, that's already funny. Who has his own clothing line. He has his own song. He has like...
So he's the Justin Bieber of canines.
He's kind of like Lassie in Germany, and he has his own TV show. So he's doing his first big feature A movie in America, like Salt with like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And then he gets kidnapped. So we go back to that, and then Fetch comes in. But the way I did the feature is like it goes back and forth. Fetch gets hired to get the dog. He gets the dog. He loses the dog. He gets the dog. He loses the dog. It goes back and forth. The cops get involved. The FBI, the mafia, the German secret police. I mean, it's a total cluster nightmare. It's really, really funny.
I really want to see this. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you.